I feel like my axe needs a friend, so I'm going to use the rest of the scrap steel that's left over from making this and make a sword that matches. This video is sponsored by Squarespace, which is a company that allows you to very quickly and easily build your own website, which is why I used it to make JAIRUS. And since they sponsored the video, you can use the link in the description, squarespace.com/JAIRUS, and you'll get 10% off your first purchase, as well as a 14-day risk-free trial, so that you can literally spend half a month seeing how easy it is to build your own website, even though it's going to take like an hour. But now let's get started with this project, which is not going to be that easy. I did get a torch like I talked about last time, so it's time to play with this thing and cut out the pieces for my sword. I made some little paper templates, and now it's time to transfer these onto the metal. And I don't have a piece long enough to make the sword, but I'm going to weld it together and see how it works. It's supposed to match the axe anyway, so... One of the really amazing things about building something for yourself like this is it can't be wrong. You can't screw up something that you're building for yourself because you're building it the way you want to build it. And I've got this idea that I think is going to be really cool, where I make this thing with a crazy edge on it. I'm just going to leave the ridiculous edge that the torch makes and make that sharp instead of making it flat. Hopefully it turns out looking as cool as I think it will. I honestly don't know how this is going to go. I haven't used a cutting torch like this since I was young. This might be interesting. I hope it works. I hope I can make it, it'll work. I mean, I just hope that I can make it work. Here's fun new experiences using really dangerous tools. I'll tell you what though, it is really cool to be able to cut metal with fire. It's so quiet. That's not quiet. Should probably put some gloves on. This thing cuts way faster than I remembered it doing. There's one piece of sword. This is so much faster than a grinder. I love it. Leaves a dirty edge, I'll tell you, but man, it's quick. 2 pieces! I thought something was wrong, and the goggles had fogged up, and I couldn't see what I was doing because... But it was still super fast compared to cutting that stuff out with a cut-off wheel. New favorite tool. Well, it'll be interesting looking, that's for sure. Because of the tattered edge from the torch cut, I can just eyeball this to see if it's straight. Makes this process a whole lot easier. Time to weld. Real quick pro tip. Whenever you're grinding metal like I was just doing, take your welding helmet and put it in a pillowcase. That way you don't get metal shavings and garbage all over the lens. It really sucks when you're trying to weld and you can't see anything. She's pretty straight, but not perfect. That's better. Straight as an arrow. Well, maybe not an arrow, but it's pretty straight. The weld was right there. And now you can't tell. 1 down, 3 more to go. That took entirely too much time because after I ground the welds down, I could see fine cracks and fissures, which means I didn't get full penetration when I was welding. I went back and I used the torch to heat it up, see if I could melt it together, and that didn't work because I tried to bend it back straight because of the warping from the heat, and it broke in half. So I had to pull it apart and knock all the old welds off and weld it again. Long story short, I realized that with the small 110 welder that I have, I just need to preheat the steel with the torch, and then I can get really awesome penetration with it. But now it's time for the fun part. I get to put the weld on and make it match the axe. I hope this turns out cool because it's taking forever. Pro tip before I start, come here. I want to keep the weld straight down the blade, but it's difficult to see anything that you mark it with. If you use marker or something, it burns off with the heat. But soapstone is like a talc-based rock type. It's a marking tool that welders use, and it can withstand incredible amounts of heat, and it doesn't contaminate your welds. So I marked around the tape with this thing, and now when I weld, I'll be able to see where my limit lines are, where I don't want to weld. So yeah, if you're using torches or welders, use soapstone. It's cheap, it works. Yep. Preheat. This is gonna take some time. Woo! One side, side two. That was a really garbage start. The line is super wavy. Oh yeah. Stella got her groove back. The blade's done. It warped a lot, but I got it straight again by jumping on it with some metal propped up underneath it to bend it back into place. And it didn't break in half this time like it did before. I'm starting to feel confident that this might be strong enough to hit stuff with. The old eyeball check. Don't move. It's perfect.
Safety.
I started out trying to make the blade look pretty, and I knew it wasn't gonna be. I thought the edge would be a little bit tattered because I cut it out with the torch. It looked weird with the tattered edge with a perfect blade. Does that make sense? So I decided to change the plan and go with this and put like facets on it and serrate it basically. I don't know what to do next. Maybe I'll just hit this with the flap disc right now. Yep, I'll show you what it looks like, but I'm gonna stand in the way the whole time I do it. I'm gonna do that for a really long time, and I'll show you the result right now. This thing got shiny. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Time to weld the handle on. Handle time. No, you're shaking all over the place. Cut it out. Stop it. See, the screen shakes. Can't tell if the stability control thing, the stabilizer thing, is doing its job and making it actually be stable. Because the camera's moving, which means the screen is moving. Whatever. Anyway, it's handle time. Get on. That was definitely going to take way too long, so I decided to cheat, and I cut this piece of other scrap tube that I have that can make the handle thicker, faster. I also cut out this little thing to stick on the end of it so that it kind of goes like skinny fat, skinny fat. Forgot to bend the tabs. I think I'm running out of acetylene. This sucks. Alright, gotta make this work in one go. Oh, well, that was lucky. I can't decide if I want to clean this thing up with the wire wheel or leave it the way it is. Because it looks awesome right now, and I'm afraid if I do the wire wheel, it's going to make it look not as awesome. And I can't undo that. Decisions, decisions. If you want to get a better look at this thing, I'm going to take a bunch of high quality pictures of it and put it on my website, jairusofall.com, which I use Squarespace to build. And Squarespace is a company that makes it extremely easy for you to build your own website. So if you have any interest in building a website, make sure you use the link in the description, squarespace.com/jairus, Jairus. It's going to give you 10% off your first purchase and a free trial. You can create something beautiful and establish your web presence in very little time. And you don't have to learn how to install plugins or even design your own web page, because you can just use the templates that they provide and just put in pictures and text, and you'll have a beautiful website in no time. And unlike this acetylene bottle that ran out on me, Squarespace's 24/7 support will not run out on you. If you have any problems or questions, they'll take care of you. So check out that link in the description if you have an interest in building your own website. You've got 14 days free to go in and try to build your own website and see if you actually like the platform. And if you use that link, you get 10% off your first purchase. But since my acetylene bottle is empty, and it takes a long time to get to the place where I get it filled, I can't temper the blade on this, because propane is never going to heat up this much steel to the point that I can quench it. It's mild steel, but in the last video when everybody asked me to do another weapon, they said that mild steel can still be tempered. So I'm going to temper it before I use it. I just can't do it in this video. I think they go together pretty nicely. Don't forget to let me know in the comments which one you think is cooler. And if you want to name the sword, put it in the comments, and I'm going to pick one, and that'll be the name of the sword when I put the video out. It'll be in the title of the video. Your name that you come up with could be the name of this sword. It'll be in the title of the video when I go to test it. I think that's fan interaction, right? I think so. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my website if you want to see the cool pictures of this so you can get a really great look at it. I'll see you next time. I know the grip is made out of metal, but it's surprisingly grippy and comfortable. I'm seriously tired. I haven't slept for 3 days? Today's day 3. Yep.